Welcome to our today's session. So today we will be able to know how we produce an income statement over 3 years. 3 years financial statements, 3 years income statements using the sum-ifs function. Every accountant should be able to know how to execute that particular functionality. So assuming you are given this kind of data, please go to the expanded RCM Excel Ninjas 2. You'll be able to see where we have a mapping of financial statements. Mapping of financial statements. You'll be able to see where we have mapping of financial statements. Mapping of financial statements. Are we there? I would want to see you guys putting your thumbs up like this. I would want to see you guys putting up your thumbs like this live. Live. Thank you so much. I can see already Eric Onyango is there. Benson Mwata is there. So you will be given data like this. This is big data. If you look at what we have, if I say control down, you'll be able to see this is going to all the way 438 rows. 438 rows. And somebody tells you, and these are 3 years, 2014 all the way to 2016. These are 3 years. 3 years. And then somebody wants you to come and fix an income statement for 2014, an income statement for 2015. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would want, in this case here, us to go back here to PP2. In this PP2, I would want us to do something. In this PP2, I would want us to do something. Where you are seeing the region here, we have this filter. I want us to eliminate this filter. So please come and click on it, and then you say clear filter from the region. Clear filter from the region. Is there somebody who has been able to clear their filter from PP2? From PP2. If there's a day I would want to see my students really aggressive, it is today, and it's only for 20 minutes maximum. If I go beyond that, then automatically I will not be a very good parent. Of course, you're parent in the profession. But I would want you to be telling me, give me information. Have you been able to go to PP2 and have you been able to clear? Have you been able to clear this? Because you see, initially it had a filter. How do we clear this filter? It's very easy. You come here and click on the filter. And then there is a filter with an X, red X. You say clear the filter like that. And then you can see now we've cleared all the filters. Now everything is very right. Everything is very nice. Now the problem, I'm not getting really feedback from you guys whether they've been able to do that. It's only Aaron who has been able to do that, and Benson Mwate. I don't know the girls today. Where are my girls here? These young girls, where are they here today? I can't see them here. I can't see them confirming here. At least Jen has confirmed. Yeah, thank you very much, Obedi. I think yes, thank you very much. So then I would want, here, if you remember very well, I was able to use, in this case here, like the pivot tables, etc. I would want us to come here and delete what we have here, Control Shift down. Let's delete what we have there. We delete what we have there. I will delete. And then now I go to a meeting. And this happens, especially for those of us who have ever held senior roles in finance. Senior roles in finance. All right. For example, if you're here, you've ever held like a CFO role. You'll go and give this kind of information to your directors. And then the directors will come and, if especially they're Indians or senior Zungus or even senior Kenyans who have really mastered what information they want you to mine. So somebody will come and tell you, fine, we can see sales, West, Midwest. We only want you to give us sales from the East region. From the East region. I will come and tell these ninjas, I mean, that's a conditional sum of. Conditional sum if. I know this conditional sum if. All right. So I'll be able to come here and say equals as usual, and then I look for some ifs. I always use some ifs. So these some ifs, I will be able to say tab. You can see, sorry. We should have done something else here. Sorry, let's escape. I want us to eliminate this filter which is on top here. How do you eliminate a whole filter? It's very easy to eliminate it. You click inside it, and then you say delete. You click inside it, and then you say delete. Remember yesterday we had put that the filter. Please click inside it, and then you say delete in your keyboard, and then you dance a little bit, because every milestone we reach, we must always celebrate. Every milestone we reach, we must always celebrate. That is Excel for you. That's Excel for you. Then once you have done that, let's start in this case here populating this. We are mining sales from East region alone. So I'll come here and say equals. So I need the sum ifs. So sum ifs, I can see they want the sum range. So it is the sales I want. So why I removed that, I would want to sum D. So I'll simply come and just highlight the whole of D. So I highlight it like that. These ranges are not supposed to be moving. These ranges are supposed to be constant. It's column D that I will be making reference to constantly. So ladies and gentlemen, if I've been able to highlight that column D and it's going to remain constant, what do you think should I do? What do you think should I do to fix it? What do you think should I do to fix it? What do you think should I do to fix it? What do you think should I do to fix it? What do you think should I do to fix it? Yeah, of course, we can fix this using, in this case here, the F4 thing. Some computers, you have to press Fn, and then you go on topmost of your computer keyboard, you'll be able to see F4. So we want to fix it using, we dollarize. We put the dollars here. So we have dollar like that. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we continue with the journey. I'm being guided by this. So like now I can see criteria after some range, it is a criteria range. Remember the condition is East. But before I click on East, I need to define the range, the criteria range, the East range. Is there somebody who can tell me the East range? Which column am I going to highlight if you're following? Which column am I going to highlight if you're following? Which column am I going to highlight if you guys are following? Which column am I going to highlight if you guys are really following? For the East range, because East is the condition. East is the condition. East is the condition. But I want its range. Where it is found, it is column E, where we have the regions, all the regions. Remember, range represents many things. So you come and heat it up. And once you heat it up, remember these ranges will always be dollarized fully. You dollarize this by saying function F4. You are done. Function F4. And then you come and say comma. So after that, they want criteria 1. The first criteria here is called East. And now this East, I have to be very bright. This East, remember, is in column J. And this column J happens to be like an anchor column. Because I'll be doing East whatever, East other things, apart from sales, have East whatever, East whatever. So this column J, the column J, it's the only column that will be dollarized, not like F4. No. So I should be able to come here after the comma, before J, I should be able to come and put $1 here. Just $1, which is shift 4, $1. And then I should be able to say enter. So when I say enter, I can see sales, same sales like the one that I got here, 146. So I should be able to come back here and then hit my rabbit here, my angry and hungry rabbit. I want to hit it twice like that. And then you can see now I'm getting sales for Midwest, South, West, etc. Now, gentlemen, could you kindly do me a favor? I know I'm not wasting time here. Kindly do me a favor. So allow me to make some very important move, ladies and gentlemen. And this move goes like this. I would want us now to come to, these things are really blocking my mapping of financials, yes. So now come to the mapping of financials. So this mapping of financials is so critical, Already, I've been able to put what here? I've been able to put a table for you. So this mapping of financials, I would want you to come under, first of all, ensure that this filter is closed. There's a filter here. Clear it. Clear. There's a filter there. So clear the filters to ensure that now you have your filters moving like that. Drop down arrows like that. Now, when I look at what I have here, ladies and gentlemen, I have great things. I have revenues from supermarkets, I have cost of goods sold from supermarkets, etc. Ladies and gentlemen, please listen here. Please listen here. And I would want you to listen to me very well. I would want you to listen to me very well. I would want you to listen to me very well. When I look at this income statement, the income statement cannot give us like revenue from this department, revenue from this branch. I would want all those revenues here to go by one name, which is revenue. And that is why now we need to map our financials. So how do we map our financials? Remember, this is something I have to write in my Excel. As I do this, I have to write this in my Excel. As I do this is not lost on me. I even got in my book. I know in the income statement, I will have revenue. I'll have cost of goods sold for me to get gross profit. So out of gross profit, I know I will subtract operating expenses. I'll write this down for you. I'll subtract operating expenses for me to be able to get what we call EBITDA. Earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. I'll be able to write this down for you. Once I get that, I will be able to come and subtract the DA to get EBIT. And once I get that, then I'll be able to less interest. And then I get, in this case here, earnings before tax. And then I subtract tax. I just wrote this for my own, and then I'll be able to read for you in Excel. So we start with the first item here, which is revenue. So now I have to ensure that all my financials here have to read revenue. So I'll come to this filter. All my financial, I'll come to this search. I write revenue. Any revenue, be it other revenue, be it revenue from discounters, be it revenue from grocery, all revenues, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have all of them highlighted. And of course, we have to filter this out. So you can see now in my financials, every other item that I have is revenue from grocery, from whatever. I would want all these revenues driven to one road called revenue. So on my map, I'm going to have on top here what we call revenue on my map. And once I do that, ladies and gentlemen, on my map, I'm going to say, in this case here, enter or control enter. And then Eric, I'm going to hit my rabbit here from behind the two strokes of the cane. I double click. And then now all over, I'm going to have so it doesn't matter whether it's revenue from supermarket, it will go to revenue. If it's revenue from discount, it will go to revenue. All this, that is how in my income statement, I'm going to call my revenues. Great. I can see a chart here. Very good. I can see a chart here. I repeat. Okay. So in this case here, what have we done? Remember what we have done. Let me just collapse this. Let me collapse this, clear my filter. And then, of course, now I should be able to come and clear this mapping that I've done there. All right. I clear the whole of it. There are not very many. I should have used, so delete. All right. So then please ensure that you have your financial filter cleared fully. And then come here and just click on the filter. Click on it. So the first thing in the income statement up there you want is called revenue. So come here and write revenue. Yeah. So in this case here, all these are my revenues. Just say okay. So in these financials now, there is nothing else apart from a revenue item. Then come to the financials here and write revenue. So you say enter, and then you have mapped all this down. So I'll have to request you for one thing. I know because of fear, you guys will keep on telling me repeat. If you don't mind, because it's a very short thing, allow me to work it out to the very end, and then I come and pick everybody. Because at times in teaching, you must show the students the end product. It will take me like less than 5 minutes. I show you the end product, you get to love it, and then you'll understand it. Now, with that permission, because you have to permit me to do that, I will come and now pick the cost of goods sold. I'll come here, pick COGS. Now you can see the cost of goods sold from all. I don't want, so I'll come and there, in this case here, say, okay. So of course, in the income statement, I want to have this short form COGS. I'll have here cost of goods sold, cost of goods sold. And then I should be able to say control enter, and then I throw this thing. You can see it's cogs all over. Then I'm mapping this. I would want all these to be called cost of goods sold. Drop it down. Oh. Okay, just change here too. Let me just do something here. Was this the best table to have? So in this case here, we have here cost of goods. So at times it misbehaves. Let me see if it misbehaves, I'll know what to do. If it misbehaves, I'll know what to do. So in this case here, cost of goods sold. So then I come on there, hit this here. It's changing to revenue. No worries. I know what else to do. You make the process a bit longer. It means that this table was not done very well. I'll use the two methods. So in this case here, we want this to be cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold. So I should be able to say control enter. And then now I will be able to copy this. So to copy this, I'll say control C. All right. Then of course, I'll be able to use control shift down arrow to just highlight all of them. And then I paste. So how do I paste? Control V, like that. So then I have cost of goods sold down. So just don't worry. I'll be able to repeat severally. Don't even ask questions. I'll be able to repeat severally. Don't even ask questions. Don't ask questions for now. I'll be able to repeat severally, and everybody will be able to be comfortable. Now, after that, ladies and gentlemen, I know that the next thing will be the operating expenditure. So I will come here and say operating. You can see this here, operating expenses. So in this case here, okay. Now I'll be able to come here and provide what here? Provide a name. I'll be able to come here and provide a name. What do I want to call this? It is operating. Expenditure. Let me see the charts. How I wish students would just oh, they're not the same. Oh, okay. You don't have this. It's like students don't have this. Is there anybody who has this kind of a workbook which has got mapping of financial statements? Yeah, the one that I've sent today. Thank you so much. So then operating expenses, I will be able to come here and say Control C. After I say, or rather, Control Enter, then I say Control Copy. Then I take the row down, and then I say Control V, like that. Don't worry, this will become a very good thing. After operating expenditure, then I have something in this case here called what here? Depreciation and amortization. Second last thing. So we have here D and A. When I click there, D, it's here already. Yeah, D and A. You like this. This will be getting it in your interviews, D and A. So this is depreciation and amortization. I'll come here and write in full depreciation and amortization. Like that. And then once I do that, I'll be able to come here and say Control Enter. Once I do that, Control C, I throw it down. Control Shift, down arrow, Control V, I write like that. After that, ladies and gentlemen, I have in this case here, interest. We have here interest. Interest is very key. So I'll be able to come here and just look for interest here. I'll be able to come here and look for interest. I promised you 5 minutes. Interest, you can see it is here, interest. Okay. So then this interest, I'll come here and just write the name. I can even copy it from there. Interest or finance cost. So Control Enter, Control Copy, Control Down, and then Control V, like that. All right. Now from there, we do the last one, which is the taxation. Let's do the last one, which is the taxation now. So tax, I can see it is already a taxes. So I'll come here. I can decide to write here corporation tax or even just tax. Control Enter, Control C, Control Shift down arrow. In this case here, Control V. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm okay with able to take care of everything. So before I repeat, listen, what I'll do, I'll come and collapse this. I collapse this by simply clearing the filter. And then now I have, if you look at this, now I have everything. So what I will do, I will come and pick this column called mapping. I pick the whole of it, Control C. I will come and create a new page, a new worksheet, where I paste Control V like that. And of course, I can see so many things repeating themselves like this revenue. So then I should be able to go to data. I clean this data. I should be able to go to data. I clean this data. And I'm going straight away to this clear duplicates, remove duplicates. I'm so sure right now somebody is thinking that this is a very difficult thing. This is the easiest thing ever, and you'll always be using it at your workplace. So in this case here, remove duplicates. I'll be able to repeat everything. Remove duplicates, I'll be able to repeat everything. I say okay. Now once I say okay, 430 duplicates have been removed, and now here we are good to go. We can see here. So what I'll do, I don't want this mapping to be there. I will come and remove this mapping, and then I'll be able to put the years. So we have 2014, we have 2015, we have 2016. There are 3 years, remember, 2016 like that. And then now my role is to populate this. Look at how I will be able to populate here. I'm using my sum ifs because I have many revenues. I'm using my sum ifs. So my sum ifs, pick it. We come to the sum range. So sum range, what do I want in the sum range? I want the amounts to be summed for me. So click the whole column. So if it is sum range, ladies and gentlemen, I must always come here and say F4 like that. And then we say comma. So I'm following this. If you come to your sheet 2 here, after sum range, what do we want? So after sum range, ladies and gentlemen, after this sum range, I can see students asking so many questions, but we shall overcome. After the sum range, I can see next is the criteria range. Criteria is revenue. Where is revenue found? Revenue, ladies and gentlemen, is found under the map. So come under the map here, highlight. And then now you should be able to come, ladies and gentlemen, here and dollarize this because it's a range. After that, now we can go to sheet 2, where we shall be able now to pick what here. We shall be able to pick the revenue. And I don't want this revenue, it's in column A. I don't want this revenue to be moving. So I have to come in this case here before A, and then I do what here? I put a single dollar. And then, ladies and gentlemen, what I will do, I will come and put comma. Do we have another criteria? Yes. I don't want revenue for 3 years. I have the year. So I have another range. So this other range, I will come here to the mapping of financials. You see criteria. Okay, we picked the sum range. We've picked, in this case here, the criteria range. Criteria 1, we picked revenue. Now from there, we go to criteria range number 2. So criteria range number 2, we should be able to come and do what here and pick it here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would want to begin this exercise because this exercise is critical for every accountant. Especially, ladies and gentlemen, in a situation where I would want us to, everybody should be able to understand how we do the mapping. So before I start using these sum ifs, before I start, because that is just a 2 minutes thing, before I would want everybody now to come here, and in this case here, first of all, let me just come and escape everything. I want to come back to my mapping of financial statements. This is an interview question. I've gone to various places and they will always give you this concept of mapping. How do you map your financials? So if you don't mind, I will come and delete mine here. After I delete mine here, all right, then now I'm good to go. I should be able to see how students are mapping theirs. Ensure that at the very beginning, there is no filter at all. And then I'll remember to copy a column down. To copy a column down, we use Control. we use shift and a down arrow, down arrow. Very important. And then to copy information from a cell, you shall use control C. This is basically to do what you have to copy. And then we have here control V to paste. So this is to copy, and then we have in this case here control V to paste. So let's get started. Mwalimu, what are you doing? Mwalimu, this looks like very complicated. Imagine no. Because I'm looking at, in this case here, from the accountant's understanding, ladies and gentlemen, there is no way you'll be able to go to the income statement and then you get revenue from supermarket. Cost of, no. It has to be revenue is revenue. So we start with the first one, all of us. Now moving slowly. So come here and search for revenue. All the revenues have been brought. Your role is to come and say, okay. And then you come to your mapping here. And you write revenue. In your mapping, you shall write revenue. And once you've been able to write revenue there, then say enter. All right. Go back to your revenue. Once you are in your revenue here, then ensure you are controlling copying until you see these things dancing round. After you control copy, I would want to highlight the whole column. Actually, the very best is even to come here. You can come here on top of F. You can come on, although it will look a bit dirty, but very good. Come on top of F, just to highlight the whole of it. And then you say Control V. Of course, you will see crazy things like coming up here, but there is no problem. You've called everything revenue. You've called everything revenue. That was our intention. You call everything revenue. That was our intention. So is there somebody who has been able to do that? Is there somebody who has been able to ensure that all his revenues will have one account called revenue? Thank you so much. Then go ahead and do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen. I would want us to come and replace this with cost of goods sold. So please come here and write here cost of goods sold, COGS. So then we'll be able to see all the COGS coming. And then we should be able to come here and just say, okay. So when you say, okay, you'll be able to see here the COGS. So I would want us to come just here, where you're able to see just below this. Just come here and write cost of goods sold. Don't mind about the revenues that are up there. They're useless. Let's write cost of goods sold. And then you say Control Enter. And then now you copy the cost of goods sold. Copy it up. How do we copy it? We say Control C. Once you say Control C, ladies and gentlemen, then you should be able to come to the whole column again up here and you highlight the whole column. I would want everything to read cost of goods sold. So I'll have to paste here. How do we paste? It's Control V, like that. Will take some time. No worries. So revenue and the cost of goods sold will be able to give me gross profit. So the next thing that I need to look for is the operating expenditure. So please go to the funnel. You know where these things are found. Come here and here. Now look for operating. Look for operating here. You can see it's already even coming here. It's the only one. So say, okay. So now I can see operating. You can even come. I don't want to call it a new name. You can even come and copy it. Put it here because I don't want to call it a new name. So Control V. You can put it there. And then I ensure that now we have operating expenses all the way down. So copy this operating, Control C. Highlight the whole column. Say Control V, like that. You are mapping all your operating expenses to this particular one that you have there in the map. We are doing very well. one item at a time. After that, I'm interested in the depreciation and amortization. Here, we have called it the D and A. So come here, look for it. Look for the D. Look for the D and the A. So D and A, it's here. Once it has been shown there, then come and say, okay. And then you should be able to come here just below this blue ribbon. Just right here, you can't have, in this case here, short names in the income statement. Write it in full. It is depreciation. It is depreciation and amortization. Depreciation and amortization. Depreciation and amortization. And then I should be able to enter. And then I should be able to copy Control-C. And then I should be able to come on top here. And then I say Control, in this case here, V. Control paste. Then all over will be depreciation and what here? Amortization. We are doing very well. I'm so sure you may not be following, but you're doing extremely well. The next thing, in this case here, will be the interest. So come here and look for it. Once I just press interest, I'm able to see interest. It's here. So I'll come and say interest. If I'm the one doing this, I'll pick this and put it here. But I mean, somebody may want something different. Let me just show you how to. So we have here interest, or even finance cost. Control-Enter, Control-C. Highlight the whole column. Then you say Control-V, like that. So we have interest throughout. The last one is our great taxation. The last one is our great taxation. The last one is our great, you can see it is here, taxes. So now I should be able to come and just call them one name, which is what here? Just tax. Control-Enter, Control-C. Highlight the whole column, Control-V, like that. And then now what do? Come here and break this filter. I don't want filter, like that. Break the filter. Break the filter. Have you been able to break your filters, ladies and gentlemen? Have you been able to break? Is there somebody who has been able to follow us up to there? Is there anybody who has been able to follow us up to there? Great, 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 great. All right. So then what we shall do, I will be able to share this video with you after breaking the filter. I would want to share this video with you and ensure that you watch it severally before our tomorrow's session. And ensure that you watch it severally before our tomorrow's session. Because after your mark, then you'll be able to go and I'll do the summary. And then I'll apply what we call the sum ifs. This is now, like the apex of the course. Once I do this, then I'll be able to show you, like, financial modeling, what we call the 3 statements. And then I should be able to call our pastor to pray for us. Because now you'll have really understood. I will have given you a very good base. A very good base. Yes, a very good base for this course. Otherwise, thank you very much. That's enough. Today it was to be only 20 minutes. We should not go beyond there. Thank you so much. All the best.